What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Cciv. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about the stock. There's been a huge news that literally dropped yesterday around 4 o'clock. It's a really good news, and then they add a little bit of a negative news inside that big news in regards to Cciv. But before we do get started, if you could please leave a like and subscribe, and if you'd like, wanna also go ahead and follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is mmfinance247. So before I drop you guys the big news, I just wanted to mention my video that I dropped last time on Lucid Motors a couple days ago. I mentioned how there was 45% ownership, so 45% of the shares were owned by institutions, and they had 109 institutions. And I told you guys this is still low, and the numbers would keep climbing up because of Lucid Motors. So as of right now, there's 140 institutional owners, and 56% of the shares are literally owned by institutions. So this is really institutional heavy. So it's looking really bright for Lucid Motors. Now the big news, this article was dropped yesterday at 3:17 p.m. So essentially they went ahead and basically said that they're nearing a deal, which we already know, and they said that their deal was going to be announced as early as next week. And Bloomberg were the ones that dropped all the news, and most of the stuff they have been dropping comes out to be true. So, and when they said as early as next week, this could be announced on Tuesday. So literally Monday, then Tuesday. So literally in 2 days. Now that's the very good news that's going to drive the stock up. But here's the bad news that they dropped in the article. The combined entity will be valued at as much as $15 billion. So this isn't confirmed, the numbers aren't confirmed, but based on the looks of it, they're going to go from $12 billion to $15 billion. So what does that mean for the company? In regards to the company, at 54.4, so basically for every $10, you're paying $15 billion, where prior people were paying $12 billion. So essentially, you're going to be paying, if you were to purchase Lucid Motors or Cciv at $54.40, you're paying $81 billion rather than paying the $64 billion. So that you're paying a significant premium because of them increasing the valuation of the company at the $10 mark. Now, for the new people, people have been talking to me about how to proceed from here. Honestly, it's up to you guys how you guys want to go through it. What I would probably suggest you guys to do, if you're looking at it in a longer term perspective, I would go ahead and check Twitter. So you can just put the symbol sign, like the $sign, and then Cciv, hit search, look at all the negative stuff. Based on all the negative stuff that you do see, try to find arguments, try to debunk those negative arguments about Cciv or about Lucid, and as to why the company isn't good. If you could debunk them, then I would go ahead and put my money in there and hold it in long term if you're looking at it in terms of a long-term valuation. Some of the stuff you'll see is that they're worth more than GM, because at $81 billion, you're paying more than what GM Motors is worth. Another thing people could say is that, oh, no one's going to be willing to pay $81 billion for this type of company when they haven't dropped anything. But you guys got to look at it in terms of perspective. Tesla was worth at $1.1 trillion and right now worth $750 billion. And people are still willing to pay at these prices because they value Tesla at a premium, looking at it in a 5 to 10 year perspective and how much potential the company could have. So if the market sentiment is that Lucid Motors has a really good future, people are going to be willing to pay $80 billion, $100 billion, $120 billion, and so on and so forth. As long as they could keep going ahead and showing that they have the potential and they don't drop any horrible PR, then people are going to be willing to pay that premium for Cciv. What I would do is I would look at the institutional investors. I would look and see if people are buying or selling. If people are just buying consistently, then I wouldn't worry too much. If you see some insiders going ahead and selling, then I would probably start getting worried into it. Next thing you do is look at charts. So in regards to charts, you can't really chart this because it hasn't had enough bounces, ups and downs to really check the support and resistance levels. But if I was forced to draw something, I would draw something like this. These might not be exact, but right here, as you can see, it topped off here and then it started bouncing off of this level. So you could put a resistance right here, You could put another one right here since it was bouncing on these levels multiple times, and then right here again. So it looks like these two are pretty accurate. This one might not be as accurate, but you know, it's somewhat there. So you can see these levels where if it drops below, the next level would probably be about 43.84 and then 37.34. But I believe if it does hit these levels right here, it's going to bounce right back up because there's too many institutional investors. So if you haven't got in, I'd probably look in for the dips. Maybe start up a little position now, but mostly look for the dips. So for you guys that don't know, this is basically the Fibonacci levels. It basically does a retracement and tells you where most people are going to be, where the price is most likely going to hit based on the estimate, like the sentiment of the stock. But it's not going to be accurate because it's pretty much just straight line up with a little few dips here and there. But as you can see right here, $30.85, there was a lot of movement at these prices. Even here, 37, this one kind of got ignored and just shot right up. And then you have one right here, and then you have a top right there. So yeah, if I was forced to draw a support and resistance levels, that's how I would draw it. This is where my Fibonacci levels would be. This might not be accurate because the stock hasn't been bouncing back and forth or hasn't really found a key level yet. But that's pretty much it for the news. If you like that, please like and subscribe, and if you'd like, don't forget to follow me on Twitter on mmfinance247, and peace out, guys.